Let's bring your players on. Well, this gentleman's from the north of England, Crown Green, former All England champion. Let's welcome Craig Newton. And up against Craig, ladies and gentlemen, also from the north of England, former British Isles champion, it's none other than Gary Smith. They've played their trial ends, go straight into their match, and I hand you over to commentary with Janice Gower.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this final day at the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals here at Blackpool Newton Hall Holiday Park. Really good games on the cards today. And we start with a good one here. We've got Mr. Consistent from yesterday, Gary Smith.
Jack length 28 metres.
He played like an absolute machine in his first round game against Danny Dennison. And he's facing Crown Greener Craig Newton, who took out the Irishman Clifford Craig in his opening game. So interesting tie on the cards here. Thank you for joining us. We're live and in full HD all through the day. This morning we've got the first Tour Cards 2 semi-finals. This afternoon, starting from 2 o'clock, we've got the Tour Card 2 semi-finals, and then tonight we have the 2 finals. And of course the players here are playing for a Tour Card, which gives them a place in every one of the World Bowls Tour ranking events for next season. And for the man on the mat there, it's a huge deal. He's just outside that top 16. A Tour Card here could give him that chance of getting into the top 16. As always, the opening ends are just a question of settling down. A little bit cool out there this morning. Both players practiced last night.
2 green. 2 feet.
For those of you out there that like to know what these players are playing with, bowls wise, Gary Smith is playing with his Henselite Tigers, which have seen him a great deal of success over the years. And Craig Newton, who was green in his first game and played with pool bowls, is now red and has been able to go to his regular playing bowls. These are his Drake's Pride Professionals that he plays the qualifiers with.
One green.
And Gary just trotting up after this, asking it to stop. It looks to just be running over a little bit. Still a bit of room there for Craig Newton. I'm sure there's a few of Craig's Crown Green friends watching this morning. He's a specialist in the Crown Green game, but turns his hand to the indoor.
Okay. One shot, Craig Newton.
Craig actually lists his ambitions in bowls, at this game in particular, is to be able to qualify for the Super Bowl event which pits crown greeners with flat greeners. And on his form here, I think he should have a good shout at that one.
Track length 29.5 metres.
Craig favouring the longer length jack he did the other day against Clifford Craig. He started off with a good lead bowl here. Gary Smith looks down a good track. These bowls will swing back off this side of the rink. He won one of the tour cards here 2 years ago, did Gary. In one of his first years in the PBA, one of the most successful bowlers in English bowls. One of the most feared bowlers in English bowls. Turned his hand to the PBA a few years back. Got himself a tour card. Struggled a bit that year, but he says he's now getting used to the sets format. He was used to playing 21 up games. So now really hungry to get this tour card and have another crack at the top events.
1 red.
Our marker for this morning, Francis Fletcher, just having a quick look at that to see if Craig had made a second shot. And Gary's on a good line here. If he just gets a tap on his own bowl.
Favour 2 red.
Our other match official is the umpire, and that's Dan Blewett. This morning's game. All part of a very, very strong World Bowls Tour officials team. They do a great job of keeping the games flowing, keeping the players aware of what's happening out there.
Two red.
Well, Gary's on a good track again here, just looking to get to this red wing bowl of Craig Newton's. Just overplayed it.
Two shots, Craig Newton.
So Craig takes a 3-0 lead after 2 ends in this first set. We play 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, 3-end tiebreak. Craig had a 3-end tiebreak in his first game. Gary Smith had one of the quickest games I've seen on a WBT rink in his first round game. I said at the time, and I'll say again, if any new young players are out there and want to watch
29.5 metres.
what I would consider the perfect game of bowls, it was that game that Gary Smith played here on Friday against Danny Dennison. Scoreline doesn't reflect it, but it was a superb masterclass in how to play the game. But he's struggling just to settle down here. Craig settled down earlier. All about keeping control of that jack length, keeping control of factors that you feel comfortable with out there.
One green.
Well, Gary will just be looking to win an end here, take control of the jack. He was playing a fairly minimum length. He got through his game the other day. Craig's looking close here. Craig's run quite a few Crown Green events in his time. He was the All England Crown Green champion back in 1995 and he's won various Crown Green competitions. Yet to make his mark and win an event indoors, but he was out playing Crown Green yesterday.
One green.
And Friday night, straight after his quarter-final game, he had a Crown Green League game. He's a surveyor from Normanton and he lists his bowls club as the Lower Hopton Bowling Club, which is a Crown Green club. Just failed with that one, Craig. Should have looked to play a little bit more weight there. I think Gary should be holding the one shot here, and the one most important thing for him here is to try and get hold of that jack, change this length, go back to his favoured length. So I don't think he'll be doing anything silly. He'll be looking down the forehand just to try and get another one in, even promote his own short bowl. Interestingly enough, both of these players list their favourite indoor bowls rinks as being at Lincoln. Running greens, both of them. Very close here, Gary for two. Yeah, good ball from Gary Smith.
Two shots,
there.
Gary Smith.
And of course Gary also lists Stanley Indoor Bowls Club as one of his favourite greens. Again, very swift running green. Right, Gary, change of length happening now here, I think. And after 3 ends in this first set, Craig Newton's lead's cut down and he now leads 3-2.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
All about getting his opening bowl close here. Textbook delivery action there by Gary Smith. You'll notice that Craig Newton tends to flick his wrist at the end of his delivery, which again is something that you'll see a lot of the Crown Greeners do. Several of them in Super Bowl last October had that very fluid delivery, but turned the wrist just on the end of the delivery. Gary looks down a good track again here. Slightly overplayed. good enough to count second shot. Craig's very close here, took on the jack.
1 red.
Craig Newton also qualified for the World Championships, which he played at in January. Just lost out to Robert Paxton. Played a very good game of bowls, definitely impressed people that day. And qualifying for this just showed people what he could do, and that does show people what he can do. He's a dangerous player, Craig Newton. Not afraid to play shots.
2 red.
Well, Gary can afford to reach onto these. He has the back position. Just looking to shunt onto those 2 red bowls. Push the jack through. There's a gap between there if he gets the gap, even if he gets his own front bowl in. A good bowl there from Gary. I'm not sure if he's...
1 green.
Yep, and he's got a shot out of it. Great bowl. A little ricochet. It went back to Craig's red bowl, but Gary Hole's shot. Sometimes quite difficult to call the shots that the Crown Greeners will play. For me, it looks like he should just be playing down his backhand here, turn his own bowl in. Can't go any worse down that hand. If he turns Gary's bowl once, he's 1 down already. And he might just be able to get back to the jack down there. He's very close to the target here. He just wanted the outside edge of his bowl, but no worse.
1 shot, Gary Smith.
And after 4 ends of this first set, we're tied at 3-all. Gary Smith now in control of the jack length.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Just gone slightly longer. But we'll still be wanting to keep that jack in his hand, feel the weight to try and keep Craig from getting the jack back. Gary's currently ranked 20th in the world. a tour card could mean he could rack up enough points to get into the
10
top
inch gap.
16.
2 green.
It was proved that it's possible last year when Mark Dawes won a tour card, managed to get to the quarterfinals of a couple of the events, and is now in the top 16. And interestingly enough, he was ranked 20th when he came and played here last year. It was quite interesting, these facts and figures, patterns that appear in play. First day play here, we didn't have a single umpire measure. In the second day play, measures always seem to appear on the fifth end of play, and we're currently playing the fifth end. At the moment, Gary Smith's holding 2 shots. Craig Newton's got to try and draw down to that shot bowl of Gary's. He looks short. There's nothing really for short there, Craig.
Take one out.
Yeah.
Well, Gary to 2. I don't believe it. Fifth end of the first set, we have an umpire measure. Is the pattern of yesterday going to continue?
One shot, Gary Smith.
1 shot to Gary Smith. Gives him a 4-3 lead after 5 ends in this first set of this Tour Card 1 semi-final at the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals. I think Craig Newton will be disappointed there. There was nothing really for short. He could afford to
Jack length,
to reach
27 and a
onto
half
that.
metres.
Well, Gary's gone in front now in this set. He'll want to keep it that way. But as Craig proved in his qualifier at Lincoln, and indeed here on Friday's a battler, as he scrambles through games but never gives up. Always confident that he can do the business. And here's a great ball from Craig Newton.
1 red. Touching. Touching.
looking just to tap the bowl of Craig Newton's, gets it perfectly. What a good
One green.
bowl, Gary Smith. Opened it up again. Craig's got to adjust now, play down this forehand. He's urging it on. I think he feels he's short. I often say change of hand, change of weight. Gary's just looking to drift back here. It's in for 2. If it sits down, it's definitely in for 2.
2 green.
And Craig looks a better length here. Well, that helped him.
One shot, Craig Newton.
So after 6 ends in this first semi-final, we're all square at 4 all. Great view there of the trophies that the guys are playing for. We have 2 winners today, there's 2 trophies there. Lovely pieces of cut glass.
Jack length 30.5 metres.
What the prize they're after really is the tour card itself, which gets them into the World Bowls Tour ranking events. Good lead bowl there by Gary, just touching the jack. Francis just waiting to see if it touched the jack before he chalked it. Oh, this is close as well. Oh, great bowl by Craig, not sure who's holding. It doesn't change Gary Smith's shot, so he didn't wait for Francis to enlighten him to who was holding shot.
Very close, favour 1 red.
Well, Craig trotting up after this bowl, he'll want to come and have a look at the angles here. Gary's experienced player, he'll have a picture in his mind as to how that head is building up. Just needs to reach onto his own bowl, take Craig Newton's bowl out of the head. Even if he taps the jack through, it's coming to his bowl. Just like that.
1 green.
Oh, Craig's put himself in a little bit of trouble here now, because his last delivery, which is to the bottom left hand side of your screen, doesn't really help the cause at all. Can't afford to take his own bowl out of the head, so doesn't really want to be reaching too far into this. We'll get into the important part of the set, the last few ends, especially when things are this close. He doesn't want to drop a count, but leaving it as it is. He's only got one ball in there. Chasing this up. Well, that makes a difference now. It has actually got him another ball in the head. Gary,
One shot, Gary Smith.
I was going to say, Gary will be quite happy to settle for the one here. So after 7 ends of this first set, Gary Smith leads 5-4 in a really, really good game of bowls so far. As anticipated, today's games all look very, very close. Very, very close to call. Second semi-final in this tour card 1 follows straight after this game. And it's Wales versus Scotland, because we have Gerard Breen versus John McCutcheon.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Well, Gary Smith's opted to go a little bit further again. Say on Friday he dominated on a slightly shorter length jack than this. But every game you play, you've got to think about your opponent, how you can outsmart them, as well as outplay them. Well, down a good track here again, Gary Smith. And Craig's in the area with this one. Oh, great adjustment from his first ball.
One red.
Crucial end this really, if Craig Newton can score at this end, keep it level going into the last end. Oh, Gary looks close here, very close to this. Great ball.
One green.
Well, Craig's close again. It's swinging backwards and forwards this game.
One green.
And some really good ends of bowls. Gary Smith just hanging on to it here though. Well, Craig's chasing this. It's on a good line.
One shot, Gary Smith.
One shot to Gary Smith at a very good end of bowls there. Gives Gary Smith a 2-shot lead going into the final end of the first set.
Track length 29.5 metres.
Well, it's been a close set all the way, this first set. Opening set of this final day. Craig Newton just needs 2 shots to draw the set, 3 to win it. It's not beyond the realms. There's not been any higher count than a 2 shot in this set. I think both players have picked up a 2. Well, 2 loose openers there from Gary Smith. Chance of slotting in another one. He's turned his back on that one.
One red.
It was perfect line as well. Well, Gary won't mess about here. He'll definitely want to get another in the head and closer. Clicking his fingers at it normally means he thinks he's quick.
One green.
Yeah, enough to get shot bowl. Pressure back on Craig Newton. Still got the chance there. Reached the last bowl of Gary's. Just took that jack. Possibility of getting his 2. He's very close to the jack here. Very close. Oh, just went the wrong way for him there. Great effort.
One green.
Gary just looking to take the danger away from the 2 shots that Craig Newton has on the left hand side of your screen. That's the place that Craig needs to get the jack to count his 2. Can't just quite tell the angle of where the jack is in front of the green bowl as to whether he can get to the bowl and edge the jack sideways. He was very, very close with his last delivery. And there is a chance. Well, the ball's left his hand. Looks down there. Looks down a very good line for it.
One shot in the first set, Gary Smith.
So after a very, very tight first set, Gary Smith, one of the favourites here this weekend, takes the first set 7-4. We move into the second set. Similar game for Craig to his first game against Clifford Craig, where he just lost out in the first set.
Track
Came on
length 31
strong
metres.
to win the second set. He needs to look to do that again here. Well, Gary Smith from Tyne and Weir will be looking to win this set and stake his claim to a place in the final tonight at 6 o'clock. And that is a good opener from Craig Newton. Oh, Gary looks down a good line here, wants to swing back to that back bowl of Craig's, just overplayed it. Chances for Craig Newton here. Does favour these longer length jacks. Look, there's the famous flick of the wrist at the end. Certainly not a textbook indoor or flat green delivery. Bit of a grin at the crowd there. I think he knew he was slightly short. He's been very quiet today. Craig's normally quite chatty and entertains a crowd. Shows how important these games are to these guys. Well, he's down a good track again. Have you adjusted your weight, Gary?
Two red.
And Craig won't want to leave that open there. Wants to try and get another in. Tuck the jack away if he can. At the moment it's vulnerable for Gary to play down to his last bowl. He's got the best back position as well, so 2 or 3 chances down that backhand for Gary Smith as it is at the moment. Craig's opting to go deep. He thinks Gary's going to have a trundle at this. Gary Smith's normally known for wanting to draw himself out of trouble. Skipped for England for many years though, so has got the running bowl as well. Two or three chances down there. Get either bowl out, get to the jack. Doesn't want to play it too far over, but he'll be reaching into this. He's got to hold that line, Gary, I think. We've got one of the red balls. I don't know whether it's turned it enough or not. Could be a measure. Parker Francis just indicating that.
One red and a measure.
Dan was saying the other day when I asked him about which bowl you go to first to measure, he said if there's ever one that's propped and one that's flat, they'll tend to favour to go to the flat resting bowl first and go to the propped bowl second. But different umpires have different ways of approaching it. At the end of the day, all these match officials are so steady-handed when it comes to these measures.
One shot, Craig Newton.
So first blood in the second set. As it started, the first set is a 1 to Craig Newton.
Jack length 30.5 metres.
He's still sticking to his favoured long length of jack. Craig just dropping a couple of balls short there. Gary got plenty of room for the draw on this backhand. It's going to be a tight game all the way, this one, folks. Very good ball from Gary there.
2 green.
I think I called in the machine the other day in commentary. Bowling machine, when he gets in the right zone, there's very few that can touch him when he's on form. And that's why some of the top 16 in the world would fear him if he got this tour card. A big chance for Gary here. Took this similar to his second delivery. Looks slightly tight here, looks under. That's a surprise ball there from Gary.
2 shots, Gary Smith.
After 2 ends of this second set, Gary Smith leads 2-1. Still a very tight game. Now, do you go shorter, Gary?
Jack length 27 metres.
Players favouring this 27-metre jack. I was saying yesterday, there's only been a couple of players that have really gone full length. And a good opening ball here from Gary Smith. Ball from Gary again. Created a little bit of a target here for Craig. Still see the jack, so I'll favour just tucking in there somewhere. I just get wrecked on Gary's bowl here with this one.
2 green.
Good effort. This is the stepping stone competition to get these guys into the ranking events, so we don't run the shot clock here, but we do have the players playing with red and green bowls. Top of the draw's red, bottom of the draw's green, and have our full match officials here, so they get used to what they'll have to face when they get to the ranking events. Both of these players have played with the shot clock and at the ranking events though, so well, Craig, are you on target? Yeah, open that up, whatever. See when the dust settles where these bowls have finished. Gary will probably come up and have a look at this, see what the situation is. The jack goes on the respot.
1 green.
It's obviously not gone out of the side confines of the rink. If it went out the side, it would be respotted. It must be in the back ditch there. Our camera angle just can't pick that one up for us. If it's 1 green, it must be the
2 green.
2 green. Not sure exactly how much room Craig has there. Well, you can see looking back down the rink there, the spot on the back bank indicates where the jack is laying in the ditch, so Gary's last delivery was very close to that. I don't know whether Craig's getting wrecked on Gary's bowls here. No, it's just slipped past. Just overweight, I think. 2 to Gary Smith.
2 shots, Gary Smith.
Now he takes an important 4-1 lead at the third end of the second set. In control of the length now as well. Craig Newton doesn't want him to get too far ahead of him. Don't lose sight of the man from Tyne and Weir. Coming into this event, he was the likely favourite for this top tour
Track
card.
length 28 metres.
As we say in bowls, it's all on the day. But Gary himself knows there's no easy rides in these events. You've got to work hard to get them. But with this event in particular, you're rewarded with that golden ticket into all the ranking events, which means you don't have to go to the qualifiers. Qualifiers, yeah, sometimes have to play 4, 5, even more games in a day to qualify for just one of those events. A tour card gives you a chance in all 3 at the moment of the WBT ranking events we have, and of course any more that are being worked on that appear in the future. Craig, I think you might just going to be getting wrecked on your own bowl there. Yeah, choosing to change his hand here, but really just wants to put the pressure on Craig, get another one in the head. Craig very quick off the mat with that bowl. Might have even overplayed this.
3 green.
Oh, Craig, not the time to drop a big count. The machine walks back up the green. Repeat last delivery. Put that into the programme for the machine. I'm sure he'll repeat. Slight look down there. Yeah, in the area for the 4.
Four green.
Huge amount of pressure now for this bowl from the man from Normanton in Yorkshire. Can the Crown Greener save the day at this end? Drop a 4 now, and things will start to go very dark for Craig. Oh, that might have saved. Gary's asking for 3. Craig's conceded 2. Oh, the whole system on this measuring's gone out of the window. We were 5th end in the first set, as we had been all
2
day
green
yesterday.
and a measure.
In this set we've had measures at the 1st and now 4th end. It's one of the little smiles that we have with the umpiring team at the end of the day.
Three shots, Gary Smith.
Yeah, Gary was right to claim the 3. Huge turning point in this game and set. Could be very, very significant that he takes a 7-1 lead after 4 ends in the second set. It's now 6 up with 5 ends to play. I'm sure the betting men out there would be definitely having Gary Smith as their favourite now to win this first semi-final.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Two red.
Well, Craig won't give this up without a fight. Said before, he's battled and scrambled his way through his games to get here. Never gives up.
One red. One red. About 3 inches past jack high.
Well, there's a gap to get through there, Gary. Got to be the right weight. He looks very close here. Well played, Gary Smith.
1 green.
And Craig coming to have a look at this now, quite rightly so. There's a perfect bowl threaded through that gap by Gary Smith. Oh, Craig, you've got a chance still. Your red bowl's in there. Doesn't want to drop any counts, so playing this very positive. Just didn't get the edge to the jack.
1 shot, Gary Smith.
Gary Smith gets another shot. He takes an 8-1 lead now after 5 ends. In the second set, 7 up with 4 ends to play. Counting down the ends now for Gary. Just needs to keep things tight. And he'll book his place in the final tonight, where he will meet either Gerard Breen or John McCutcheon. Craig really needs to win this end
Jack length 28 metres.
to keep his hopes alive. He's got to win this set to take us into a tie break. So he needs 8 shots. In 4 ends. Doable. I think that clap from the crowd is now getting used to Gary Smith being closer than that. Doesn't want to let the concentration go. Just have a little bit of a word with yourself in the office there, Gary. Normally the master of the concentration game.
One green. Two green.
There's a bit of a target there for Craig. If he drops a 2 at this end, I fear you can start the car and the party might be over. Yep, happy to settle for the 2. Sees the danger at the back there from Craig Newton. And Craig's got to really count here. Got to change something. Crucial bowl this from the Crown Greener. Battled all his way here. Played really well. Well, fortune favours the brave sometimes.
Yeah.
There'll be a bit of a smile from both players there.
One shot, Craig Newton.
Well, it keeps him in the game. I After 6 ends in this second set, Gary Smith's now 8-2 up against Craig Newton. Craig's played very, very well. All credit to him. Sure his daughter Mia will be watching Daddy at home somewhere, and she should be very, very proud of her dad. He's playing one of the best players in the country.
Jack length 31.5 metres.
He's giving him a game. He's just having a quick look at the scoreboard there, trying to work out. He's a numbers man, is Craig. Doesn't need a calculator to work this one out. He's 6 behind with 3 ends to play, but he needs to count 7 in those 3 ends to win the set, to take us into a tie break. Gary Smith can count a 2 on this end. We'd be shaking hands. Bit of a loose end from both players here. These are the times when you need to knuckle down and get that bowl in there, which is just what the machine has done. Craig's got a good reply here. Again, it's just gone against him. He's been very, very unlucky with some of these bowls. Craig, there is a glimpse of a chance here actually. He has the back position. Danger is if he takes the jack out too far and he gives Gary a couple of feet to draw. But there's a chance. At this stage of the game you've got to take that chance. The track looks very good. All on his weight now, I fear. Well, if Gary draws in another here, we won't need any more ends of this set. As I say, Craig Newton's certainly done himself proud over the last few months at the indoor game. He'll no doubt be putting his indoor bowls away now for his Crown Green season after this event. But I don't think it's the last we'll hear of Craig Newton. And Gary just dropping short with this bowl.
One shot, Gary Smith.
We're now in the position where Craig Newton needs 2 fours against one of the top players in England. Some would say one of the top indoor players in the world. He needs 2 fours off him to take us into a tie break.
Track length 30 metres. Craig requires 4 shots to stay in the match.
And the job for Gary Smith here is to just stop Craig counting a 4.
Fine.
Now we see the character remarks from Craig. Normally very jovial with the crowd. Well, not exactly the tightest ends, but I certainly can't see how Craig's going to get 4 out of this. That bowl doesn't help the cause at all. Might just be a question with his last bowl of a hit and hope. That's a technical term. Hit it and hope.
1 green.
Well, he's got to hit it. It looks like it might be under the line. Yep, game over. Gary Smith takes his place in the final.
2 shots,
6
second
o'clock
set
tonight.
and the match, Gary Smith.
After the break, we'll have Gerard Breen versus John McCutcheon. Join us after the interviews and the break.
Yeah, well, gentlemen, another early morning match on a Sunday. I'll start with you first, if I may, Craig. Second time you've been here. Obviously, you normally play Crown Green, but you have been playing flat indoors. Haven't quite made it this time. Can I ask from a Crown Green perspective how it is coming out from Crown Green, which I know you're still playing, and playing indoors at the same time?
Well, for me, I seem to do quite well, but I know a lot of people struggle. I was playing yesterday. I've come back in and played half decent, not 100% today, but generally speaking, I don't mind it, swapping and changing.
And again, we've had 1 or 2 Crown Greeners in, and the normal Crown Green calls, which are a different nature. Do you think flat green could do with more of what Crown Green has got?
From a personal point of view, that the more shouting, the better, and the banter that goes with it. I don't think it'd take off. It's been like this for many years, and it's also all about etiquette indoors, isn't it? Flat green. I'd hope to see it, a bit more noise, but I don't think so personally.
Well, thanks, and I hope that with you still playing ground and coming at flat, we can encourage a few more Crown Greeners to have a go at this. And thanks a lot. Commiserations to you. Coming across to yourself, Gary, I should think you're pleased to come through. You're now into the next stage, so you'll be playing again today. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. Early morning, obviously, always a difficult game. Craig is such a competitor. He'd done his last time in the final at Lincoln, and that would have won. But he played really well, and I've just been saying to Craig, I would love to try the Crown, so I think invite us to play, because I would like to have a go at it.
I'd like to be there to see it too. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Sorry we're first on at 9:30 on a Sunday, but for you, hope to see you back, and congratulations, see you again later. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're ready for your second match of the morning. So let's bring your players on. And this gentleman's from Wales. He's been a Welsh international since the age of 14 and holder of several Welsh national titles. Let's give a warm welcome to Jared Breen. And up against him from Scotland, he's a holder of several Scottish national titles, a familiar face on the PBA circuit. Let's give a warm welcome to John McHutchison. They've played their trial ends, go straight into their match, and I hand you over to commentary with Janice Gower.
Well, welcome to the second semi-final here of the first tour card for the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals. The winner of this game will meet the machine Gary Smith, who just won his semi-final. Interesting game here. We have Wales versus
27 metres.
Scotland. For those of you that like to know what bowls the players are playing with, Gerard plays with Drake's Pride professional size 3s, and John plays with the Taylor Ace. Gerard beat Ben Sherwin from Cumbria in his first game on the tie break. Ben Sherwin had won the tour card here last year. It was a good battling game from both players, but Gerard just came out on top. John McHutchison beat Roger Herridge in straight sets. Good opener.
2 green.
Opening bowls there by John. Apparently John took a bit of stick from his friends and family back home when they were listening to the commentary in the first game he played against Roger. As I mentioned, that there was
Favour just the 1 green.
20
Very
years
close.
between
Favour your green.
him and Roger. I'll just
Yes.
correct that and say 20 years plus. John McHutchison has just scraped into his early 40s. Very, very competitive player. He did say to me, if you could just mention I'm 21 again to the people at home. So there you go, John, I've mentioned it for you. And again, there's nearly 20 years between these two players, the young Gerard, in his early 20s. Don't let that deceive you though. I mean, he's qualified for the World Indoor Singles, Welsh International Open in the past. He's no stranger to the TV setup.
Roger.
And we start off the first end of the second
Finish the
semi-final.
shot.
with a measure for shot. Umpire for this game is Mike Davis. And our marker Dan Blewett.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
Jack length 23 metres.
The opening end, opening measure there went to John. I think we're in for a good game of bowls here.
Two red.
One of the players with a textbook delivery is John. Qualified at Falkirk venue. That's his indoor club as well. He won the Scottish two-ball pairs championship back in 2003. Looking to get into the World Bowls Tour televised events here, ranking events for
One
next
red
year.
and a measure.
He'll be disappointed with that, just dropped short with that delivery.
It's very close, Jared.
Well, Gerard just looking to a little touch on that jack will get him a four. He's very close for it as well, very close. Measure called at the second end as well. Going to be a tight
Three shots,
game
measure
all the way.
fourth. 3 shots, Jared Breen.
Great ball there from Gerard. Picks up a 3 and takes the 3-1 lead after 2 ends in the first set. We play 2 sets of 9 ends and if necessary a 3-end tie break.
Jack length 25.5 metres.
A lot of the players here this weekend seem to have opted for shorter length jacks. It's quite a long rink here at the Blackpool Newton Hall indoor bowls facility. We play on the Bonafide rink 2 at the club. And we play the 3-metre tees as we do here. It's 31.5 metres between tee to tee. Minimum jack length 23 metres. So there's a fair bit of manoeuvring there that you can use.
One green.
Chance here from Jared. That jack, yeah, great bowl.
One red.
Jared doesn't want to be too far over play with this as Jordan's bowl's just behind. I want to just play down his backhand here, just get one slightly behind the jack, even if he could count for 2, even better, but anything positional to the right hand side of your screen. I'm not sure what he's done there. He might still hold the 1 shot.
One green.
On green, he's pushed the jack through. That was the danger of playing into the head there. He just got that bowl tight. John will be happy to settle for picking up the 1 shot here.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
So after 3 ends of this first set, Jared Breen leads 3-2. Tight game again. The winner of this goes to play Gary Smith at 6 o'clock tonight in the final.
Jack length 24.5 metres.
2 tour card semi-finals this afternoon. For tour card 2 feature Brett Arkley and Steve Allen, and Philip Last and Robert Chisholm. So some good bowls for you all day today. Sit back on a Sunday and relax and enjoy the bowling.
No, it's a 1/4 inch gap.
Another good ball there from John. He played very, very well on Friday when he beat Roger Herridge. Gerard looks just to be a little bit lacking of pace. The line looked very good
green.
for the job in hand. Another good ball here from John. Took round that red ball. Great bowling.
3 green.
An attacking ball here off Gerard. Opened it up, but looks like it might still be the 3.
3 green.
John just taking his time over shot selection here. Crucial to get these things right, crucial to have it in your mind what shot you want to play. And covering the running bowl, Gerard plays a runner. Just have overplayed that a little bit, but not wasted there at all. This is down a good track. If he's got good weight, it'll come back all the way here. Can it make it back to the jack to tuck it? He's just slipped by. Might have stayed in for third bowl.
2 shots, John McCutcheon.
So John McCutcheon takes the lead again, 4-3. After 4 ends in this first set, we play 9 ends. And walking up with the mat.
Jack length 24.5 metres.
Oh, good start, John. So he certainly impressed me on Friday. Steady. Settled down into this event very quickly. Always a smile off the rink as well. Smile for the spectators. I'm sure his two children, Julie and Alex, will be supporting their dad. Giving him a shout out at home.
One green.
Gerard's family are all here with him to support him. A good venue, there's accommodation available on site here at Blackpool Newton Hall, part of the Partingtons group.
2 green.
Great bar and catering facilities here. Definitely look after us while we're here. Well, Gerard's in the area here. He's chasing this. He's very close to this jack. Oh, just went wrong for him, really. Got the touch, but the jack just locked on the back
One
ball of
green.
John's. Looking for the perfect draw here. Well, Gerard, just looking at the angles here, wants something similar to his last. I think he possibly holds 2 seconds. He gets just a bit of a chunk onto the jack, takes it through to his back bowl. In the area, needs to just swoop a bit here. I've got the connection, but again, very, very tight head of bowls this.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
So John picks up another one there and takes a 5-3 lead after 5 ends in this first set.
Jack length 23.5 metres.
Well, John's been favouring the shorter length jack all weekend. He's finding it very, very well. Close here, good reply from John. As anticipated, when you get to this stage of any of these events, the players have already got a game under the belt. It's good to see some good bowls. The first game was very good. Crown greener Craig Newton did himself proud. Changing virtually with every bowl.
Very close for shot. Your bowl 2 inches past Jack high.
He's begging it to bend here, and it's very close. It's rocked his bowl.
1 green and a measure.
Could have made it for 2 there.
Yes.
These players that are just outside the top 16 and the top players in their countries. Good players. It's good to see them out there on this live and in full HD streaming from the World Bowls Tour. And we're with you all day. 2 semi-finals this afternoon of the second tour card, and then the 2 finals for the 2 tour cards tonight starting at 6 o'clock. Well, Jared, in the area. Didn't expect any less from the young man. Oh, good bowl there. Great bowl, changing with every end here, every bowl.
Two red.
He's settling to take the
2
2
shots,
there, I
Jared
think.
Green.
A bit dangerous. And that ties the first set up at 5-all after 6 ends. Yeah, some really good bowls here today. And it's still fairly early on a Sunday. Mr. Kearsley just come in there in the background. The directors of the Partingtons group. They love the bowls here. Very supportive of the World Bowls Tour, what it does and its events.
Jack length 23.5 metres.
Good opener there from Jared. What do people say? The 7th end of these 9 end sets is crucial. We're on to the 7th end now. Whoever wins this end, it gives them a slight control on the last 2 ends in play. Gerard's from the Rhondda Indoor Bowls Club, so I'm sure there's a few people there watching. There are a few of John's friends up in Bonnie Scott. And I've just seen their
One
man
green.
play a superb bowl there.
It's 3/4 of an inch gap.
And my bowl and John's bowl, are they both level?
Your bowl is an inch shorter than John's.
Big decision here for Jared. Doesn't want to make it any worse. He might have asked to come up and have a look there, but players are allowed up after their third bowls as a matter of course when there's no shot clock, but after 2 bowls they have to request to visit the head off the match official. Now our match marker today is Dan Blewett for this game. I think by John's body language he wasn't so keen on that delivery. Gerard just looking to turn his own bowl into the head here. Onto the jack. Almost got the perfect connection. Well, John, is there room for 2 for you there? He won't want to tap his own bowl. So any movement on his own bowl would give Gerard a count of possibly 1 or 2. He's on a wide line here, not looking to do any damage.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
Yeah, that means John McCutcheon takes a 6-5 lead after 7 ends, with 2 ends left to play in this first set. Tight all the way, this one, folks. He thought it would be on paper, and it's proving that way. Gerard not even kicking the bowls back because he knows that John brings the mat up, favouring the shorter length jack.
Jack length 24.5 metres. John needs 4 shots to win the set.
Interesting statistic there. John needs 4 shots to win the set, but I'm sure he'll just be looking to try and get a 1 shot out of each end here. The way that this game's set up, it's coming down to every bowl, and that was the first loose lead bowl John's played. Well, Gerard hasn't capitalised on that. See if John can just adjust it. Well, that's a better bowl. It's more like his lead bowls. Jared in the area here. As I mentioned before, this game's been one where it's virtually changed
One red.
every bowl who's holding shot. John looking to just connect with the red bowl. Just played it under the line.
My ball shoulder the jack, please.
Yes, it's 6.5 inches short of the jack with a 2-inch gap.
Well, it's probably counting for 2, but it does make the target slightly bigger
2
for
red.
John. Adjusted his line slightly here. Needs to start swooping. Needs to start swooping for him.
Is it the last end?
Last end going that way.
Okay, Gerard just checking there with Dan about the situation on ends. We're trialling at this event, the officials telling the players how many they need towards the end of a set. I think Gerard thought perhaps this was the last end. Just wanted to double check the situation. John's conceded 2.
Two shots, Jared Breen.
That means going into the last end of this first set, Jared Breen is 1 shot up. It's at 7-6. This game's been tight all the way. Never more than a couple of shots in it. I wouldn't put this past being a tight set.
Jack net 24 metres.
Just looking at the card here, John McCutcheon has won every end played in this direction. He's only picked up shots counts of 1, but that's all he needs to tie this set. So this is definitely his favoured direction. He looks on a good track with this ball here. All on his pace. Just dipped under at the end. It looked a good line when it left his hand. John not happy with that.
1 red.
Well, there's a chance for John here. Doesn't want to be short. Bowl or jack. Just over the draw. Don't be short with it, John. He's actually played it slightly more aggressively. This might hang off. Nervy times at this last end of the first set. It's been so tight all the way. The Welshman just taking the lead. Going into this last end. It's a crucial time. Jared needs to get another bowl in the head, make sure he's counting 2 shots. At the moment there's still a take-out bowl for John.
Two red.
It's still possible to remove both bowls. I think he's committed himself to a run and out, having played it with his third delivery. Well, John, this to stay in the first set. And he's still played a timer. Can this get back? He's very close. Oh, great effort. The first set goes to Jared Breen.
One shot, the first set, Jared Breen.
He takes the first set, 8-6. And we move into the second set. The joy of these sets games is you can regroup. Come out fighting again in the second set. Really tight set of bowls that could have gone either way.
Jack net 25.5 metres.
More people coming in now to the arena. It'll change the temperature in there, which always affects the carpet slightly. Few coming in to watch this afternoon's semi-finals of the second tour card.
That's the shot, yes, last bowl. Oh, short, it's 18 inches.
And we start with our coverage of those two semi-finals at 2 o'clock. Just time to get your Sunday lunch. Meanwhile, John McCutcheson's got the job of trying to win this set to take us into a tie-break. Such a tight first set.
One red. One red.
I didn't like that slap of the leg as he released it. Looks just a little bit overplayed. Players of this quality seem to be able to tell as soon as it leaves the hand. And Gerard just needs to swing back past that shorter green bolt to hold 2 shots.
2 red.
Well, John, are you reaching? That was a disappointing end from John McCutcheon. Played so well in the first set.
2 shots, Jared Breen.
Disappointment of that, you can't let it affect you. You have to regroup and start afresh. In the meantime, Jared Breen takes 2 shots and opens up after one end of the second set, 2-0.
Jack length 23.5 metres.
Just half a metre over minimum there. So most of these players this weekend seem to have been favouring shorter length jacks. To the right of your picture in the crowd there, just leaning forward, Steve Allen, the other Falkirk qualifier, qualified the same day as John McCutcheon. Steve Allen's the first of the semi-finals up this afternoon in Tour Card 2. He meets Stanley man Brett Arkley.
One red.
And John's just not steadied himself after that disappointment of losing the first set. Needs to just try and steady and get back in this game now. Played so well. Looks on a good track again here, all on his pace I think.
It's very close for second.
Well, if he slots in here, Jared, it puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. He's made quite a big target there. John needs to just give himself a little bit more of a chance, a bit more green to reach of those bowls.
May have just pushed it back.
Bit of a chat there going on between Jared and our match official. There to help the players do a very good job. Steady hands there, chucking a bowl and removing the close shot bowl. There, everybody would be watching that. Not a single movement in that bowl that was chocked by Dan Blewett until it was conceded.
2 shots, Jared Breen.
So Jared takes a 4-0 lead there after 2 ends. In this second set, John McCutcheon just not settling after losing the first set. Just have a walk off, just have a word with yourself. I often say go and have a word with yourself in the office. Just calm yourself down a bit. Press the reset button.
Jack length 23.5 metres.
Both these players have played so well. What John doesn't want is for Jared to get away from him here. So John plays at one of the quickest surfaces in the British Isles. Certainly it's the quickest surface I've played on this year, Falkirk. Somebody messaged me yesterday to just say that they're looking to change the surface this year and they might even go blue carpet. Surfaces get so far in, get a bit of wear and tear and you have to replace them. That certainly currently is a beautiful surface to play on.
2 red.
Gap between shot ball and jack.
Shot ball and jack is 8 inches.
Well, Jared's really piling on the pressure here. Another good bowl there.
Three red.
I mentioned before Jared qualified for the World Indoor Singles back in 2010 and what was then the Welsh International Open back in 2011. So he's no stranger to the TV lights and the World Bowls Tour set. And he fancies a taster of it again by winning one of these tour cards. All on John's pace here, needs to slip past his own bowl.
One shot, Jarrett Breen.
One shot to Jared Breen means after 3 ends of this second set he leads 5-0. Having taken the first set 8-6. John McCutcheon has got to win this set to take us into a tie-break. Jared Breen playing very well here. Choosing Matt back. A short length jack. Whereas John was favouring Matt up and Jack up to the tee area. Shows what a difference in who's controlling the jack.
Jack length 24.5 metres.
Another good opener here.
1 green.
Oh, that was a better bowl from John McCutcheon, more like he played in the first set. Counts at this end, he gets himself back in the game. 5-0's always possible to get back, especially
Last
in these
bowl 6 inches past jack high.
9-end sets. Still got 6 ends left to play, but you don't want to start seeing ends slip away from you, especially when you're on a deficit. Jared looks in the area, he might just get wrecked on the short green bolt. He's managed to slip past it. Well, John McCutcheon gets himself on the card in this second set, unless he chips the jack out here, which I don't think he'll be trying to do.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
On the scoreboard, John now. The lead of Joe Breen's now 5-1 after 4 ends of this second set in the Co-operative Funeralcare European Masters Finals. And this is the second semi-final of Tour Card 1 here at Blackpool Newton Hall, which is part of the Partingtons group.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Yeah, John just opting to go that little bit further with the jack now. Needed to change something. Shake the young man from Wales's rhythm. Well, this looks on a good track from John here. Just needs to get back to the jack on length. Yeah, that's a better ball, John. Sometimes in these games you've just got to try and dig deep if you know your consistency's just slipped from you for a few ends. Just have to keep trying to battle away there.
One green. Yes.
Well, opportunity here, John. Need to take it. Need to draw another one in here. Probably the first loose end that Jared's played. Played very, very consistently. Played really well to beat Ben Sherwin. Just beat Ben on a tie break 2-1. We won't want this game to go into a tie break. Oh, John's very close here.
Three green.
Managed to tuck it around for three. A little bit of room there now, but still the pressure always piles on if you know you're 3 shots against. 3 here would really drag John McCutcheon back into this second set. Right, Jared looking for an adjustment in his length. Played very well. So, well, opportunity to loose end, and John McCutcheon took it. 3 shots.
3 shots, John McCutcheon.
After 5 ends of this second set, Jared Breen's lead's been cut now to only 1. He leads 5-4. We've still got 4 ends left to play. Really tight game all the way. John just settled back in. Would be disappointed with the first 2 ends of this second set. Jared was very, very consistent.
Jack length 29 metres.
Gone longer again, 29 metres. Experienced player John McCutcheon. Well, 2 fairly loose openers from these 2 guys. Different length, different pace, you're taking different line.
One green.
Oh, John's chasing this up.
2 green.
Encouraged by his friends on the side there. I think that was the voice of Stephen Allen. Well, Jared Breen looks to have corrected well here. Is it just going to get a little thin edge off his own bowl? Not sure. It might have just sat out. I think it might still be 1 green.
1 green.
Yeah, confirmation there from Dan Blewett, 1 green. Good to hear we've got spectators, various different countries watching this from the comfort of their front rooms, sat on the sofa with your Sunday lunch. That's the joy of the new World Bowls Tour YouTube live stream. It's in full HD. We are live. And there's full commentary as well. Nice of you to join me on a Sunday. I hope you'll stay with us for the rest of the day. More
It's close for
cracking
second,
games
Jared.
coming up at 2 o'clock and then 6 o'clock, the 2 finals tonight. Well, Jared, on a good line. Again, he's just going to get wrecked on his own bolt. All about the pace out there, I think. Interesting to find out off the players later what they think the pace is like. Mike Davies being called on to decide on the situation out there.
One
on
green
N6.
conceded, measure for second.
Always go back to the first bowl they measure to check that the measures haven't slipped. Just to confirm.
One shot, John McCutcheon.
Confirmation there, 1 shot John McCutcheon. After 6 ends of the second set, we're 5-all. Interestingly enough, after 6 ends of the first set, we were 5-all. Who wins this game, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure you've all got your opinions and favourites at home.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Certainly made a difference to this set, John taking the jack that little bit further. Looks on a good track here as well. This is a good opening ball from John McCutcheon.
The gap, please.
6 inches.
A nice high line, it'll swoop all the way back here. All on his pace though. Might force John to change his hand.
Yeah, 16 inches short of Jack high.
Might confirm to him it is still possible to get past that bolt. Gerard's looking on a good track again here.
1 green.
Just overplayed it. Can John slot another in here? He's urging it on. Hurry, hurry, he says.
2 green.
Done enough. Gerard again and back out on a nice high line. As it slows up, it starts to swoop across now. Just not enough weight in that. And what John doesn't want to do here is give Jared a wing bowl to play at. Just wants to tuck behind this jack. Very good bowl here. Well, John Hutchison of earlier in the day has returned.
3 green.
I don't think Jared will be short at this. Needs to alter something. Can't go any worse than 3 down with the way that the head lies there. He's played a bit of a timer to try and promote his own bowl into the head. He's close to it. Forced him to reach that last bowl of John's. Shows how much it means to the young man from Wales, that.
1 shot, Jared Breen.
Great bowl, got the perfect result for him. He now takes a 6-5 lead after 7 ends. We always say about that 7th end in a 9-end set being crucial. Two ends left to play. In the first set it was 6-5 to John McHutchison after 7 ends. He lost the last 2 ends. Can the tide
Jack
turn
length,
here?
23.5 meters. Jared needs 4 shots on this end to win the match.
Again, that's what they were told at the 8th end of the first set. If he counted 4 shots at this end, the game would be over. But at this level, there's 2 ends left to play. John McHutchison just needs a shot count of 1 at either end. So 1 at both ends to win this set, take us into a tie break. 2 and a 1, anything like that will do. There's only 1 shot in it. Great game of bowls this. Changed virtually with every bowl at times. That's what you want to see when you get to the semi-final stages of something as huge as the European Masters Finals, sponsored by the Co-operative Funeralcare.
One green. I favour you still hold.
Needs to really count at this end, does John? Doesn't want Jared to be a couple of shots ahead of him going into the last end. Just dropping short with that, I think, John. Jared just still looking for the neat draw here. Plenty of room still. Looks on a good line here. Just hung off again. Well, John, huge chance here. Counter 2. Line looks good. What's your length like? What's the weight like here? Yeah, good length as well.
2. Let's give you 2. 2 shots, John McCutcheon.
So a mirror image card of the first set here. John McCutcheon takes a 7-6 lead after 8 ends. The first set, Jared Breen was 7-6 up after 8 ends. All down to this end as to whether we go into a tie break or whether the young man from Wales steps into the final of Tour Card 1. Really has been a very, very good game of bowls from these two.
Jack length 29.5 metres. John needs to win the end to win the set.
That's confirmation. Gerard wins the end. He can afford to even pick up one shot and tie the end. It's really a bit of a tie-break end to go into a tie-break. John has to win this end to go into a tie-break. Again, his unusually loose lead bowl. Gives Gerard a chance here, and he's taken it. Closer bowl in. Still room for John there. Needs to nail it with this one.
Bowl short.
Opted to change his hand here. Looks better for it. When he sits down, that closes the end down a bit. Gerard just got to make an adjustment on his line here. It was good weight with his last. Well, great line. I think he might just be lacking the weight.
1 green. The gap is 8 inches.
Well, he's chasing after this again. Looks a good line again, John. And he was hoping that that was just going to drift past his shot bowl, get a closer bowl in. Still about 8 inches of room there for Gerard to draw. Well, he looks close with this. Looks very close with this. Might just sit in. Oh, marker down blue, it'll tell us shortly, but I think that might still be 1 green.
Green.
That's good enough, that's all he needs. 1 ball left from each player. Do we go into a tie break? Well, John didn't like that. Swinging across. That might force Gerard into reaching here. There's a chance here. Push his own red ball into the head. Big chance for the young man from Wales here. Anything reaching onto the red ball of his last delivery, pushes it through onto the jack, stays with it. Game over. Oh, he's down a line for it. He's very close to this. Oh, he's on. The last ball of John McCutcheon just
One
wrecked
shot,
that
second set,
delivery.
John McCutcheon, match tie break.
So we're into a match tie-break, probably deserved from the way that this game's gone. Both of these players have played very well. Jared Breen won the first set 8-6. John McCutcheson's won the second set 8-6. Match tie-break.
Jared won the toss. He's given the jack to John in the first end.
So in this we are 3 ends now in a tie-break. The first to win 2 ends. Shots don't count, it's all on who wins the end. Tight game all the way, probably deserved to go to a tie-break. But tie-break ends are different to play, different tactics, different players
Jack
have
length's
different
28 metres.
ways of playing them. John's gone for his preferred in the last set, longer length. Needs to nail it with his first bolt. Close here, very good start that. These ends can often be battles of the nerves as well. Perfect green there from Jared. Both have played tie breaks before. Jared Breen against Ben Sherwin in his first game here played a tie break.
Two green.
That's my last move shot.
The gap is 9 inches.
He's urging this one to hurry. Thinks he's not reaching with it. That's a great bolt.
3 green.
There's still the room for the perfect draw there. Oh, he didn't like that. Slap of his leg as soon as he delivered that. That won't have made his life any easier either, because he's blocked the line for the trail on the jack. What John won't want to do now is make any sort of a target. He might opt to come back to the forehand here, leave the shot bowl where it is. Keep away from it. And he's still playing down the backhand. One doesn't want to give Jared a wing bowl here. Well, it's certainly better there than being a wing bowl from the McCutcheson camp. Jared Breen's got the perfect draw here. He looks on a great line for it. We'll find out if he thinks he's a length, if he's urging it on. He's urging it on. He's very close. Sits down.
First end to John McCutcheson.
First end to the Scotsman. John McCutcheson from Falkirk. John wins the next end. He takes the game. Jared's got to win the next end to take us into the third end of the tie-break. John setting the jack again here, so therefore we'll probably see that slightly longer length. Jared just been struggling on the longer length. Looked in control for a good section of
Jack
this
length's
game.
28.5 metres.
Last few ends of the first set, first few ends of the second set dominated. Oh, John turns his back on that. Jared didn't make the most of that loose opener from John. And John will be looking to rectify his first ball. Looks a great line here. Well, John. Good ball. It's there as a rester though for Jared. He might just alter his line slightly from his last bowl. It was not bad for pace. It was just a tad on the high side. Looks better here.
One red.
And John will change his hand here now, try to rest to that bolt. Well, if it finishes, it needs to start swooping for him now.
Yes, one red.
And it just rocked that bowl slightly. But Dan blew it our marker, indicating it's still one red. Jared wanting to make life hard work for John here. Well, John's got a couple of chances here. If his own bowl's resting Jared's bowl, it will shoot his out the head. You can play it either hand really. Personal favour would be down the backhand. He really wants either his own bowl, the green bowl that's locked against the red, or the jack. Yeah, playing it positively. Needs the jack. Needs the jack. Second end, Jared Breen.
Second end to Jared Breen.
We're going to the third end of the tie break. All down to this one end now. It's the only end in the game where a player can elect to kill the end. Means if they hit the jack and it goes out of the side confines of the rink, the end would be replayed, whereas in normal play it's respotted. But they can only do that if they elect to do it. Now Jared had the choice of jack at this end and he's elected to give it to John. He's having a good think there because John's really dominated slightly longer length. Up to that last end. So the winner of this end goes into the final for tour card 1.
28.5 metres.
And we'll play Gary Smith at 6 o'clock this evening. And you'll have that coverage live here on World Bowls Tour YouTube, live and in full HD. Well, he definitely didn't like that. It shows how much these pressure ends can affect these players. All about who keeps cool and calm. Nails a bowl near the jack. Well, it looks a better line here, John. Shot bowl, but there's a bit of room still there. Jared looks closer here. Just held off. Interesting end of bowls this. These two players have played so well throughout the match. Still feel it's down to whoever nails this first. John was very close with his last delivery, just a slight adjustment. He looks to have gone on the high line again. That's not wasted there, always good to have a back bowl in when you're playing tie-break ends. Oh, Jared looks a better line here. I think this is all on pace. Well, Jared Breen just played a superb shot. The little edge off the green ball helped. John McCutcheon has this bowl to stay in this European Masters Finals. All down to this bowl. Can the man from Falkirk edge out that bowl of Jared Breen's, or does Jared move closer to his dream of a tour card?
Third end of the match to Jared Breen.
The third end of the match to Jared Breen. He moves into this final of Tour Card 1 to play Gary Smith this evening at 6 o'clock. Join us at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Just once more, ladies and gentlemen, give
for
both
Tour
players
Card 2 semi-finals.
Well, gentlemen, you've just given the crowd a stunning display of bowls between both of you, and I'm not going to concentrate on individual sort of shots or anything because it has been a sort of slugging match between you both. I'll come to you, John. Cracking match. Unfortunately, we got to the tie break, and something I noticed was that in both of you in the tie break, it was as if you both locked up. Your first bowls just weren't like the other bowls in the two sets. So tell me, what's the pressure like when you reach a tie break, John?
Most of the guys that have played the game, they've all been there, so they know what the pressure's like. But you start to shake a wee bit, and it can throw your weight just that wee touch. You miss your line a wee bit, and it gets tough towards the end of a game like that. And fair play to Jared, played well. Played more consistent than me. I thought I lost it a wee bit halfway through the game, but overall delighted in the way I played. No complaints, and good luck to Jared in the final.
Yeah, well, I've seen you come through, John. I've seen you at the qualifiers, I've seen everything else, and I think you're a cracking player. I take it you'll be trying again?
I'll be back.
So, and Jared, for you've come all the way from Wales. You've met the gentleman who's come all the way from Scotland. It's been a cracking match. You're through. Similar for you, it was obvious that the tie-break had got to you. I'm not saying whether it was nerves or anything, but can I ask how you felt going into the tie-break, particularly on the third end of the tie-break, where the opening bowls from both of you, shall we say, weren't quite on the jack? How did you feel?
Yeah, if you can just go right on it, it's basically end over. So yeah, like you're trying to do it, and I think you're just thinking too much about doing it instead of just trying to get close, and you're just thinking if I can just get one on, it's end over. You can just play around that end then. So yeah.
And again, Jared, you're through now to the semis. To the final even. So you've got a bit of a break. Probably take yourself off and have a rest. How do you feel about getting through to the final down here at Blackpool?
My aim was, to come up here and just play my game. I knew if I could just keep my consistency, play well, I know I'd in with a shout before I come up here. So yeah, just really pleased to just scrape through again.
Well, again, gentlemen, you've both played well. You've both given both the viewers here and the viewers on YouTube, which are very good again today, an incredible match. Can I just say thank you to both of you?